Hi, Mark Alderman from Alderman Chevrolet Buick GMC, Vermont's favorite car dealership. We're best known for awesome deals and fabulous service. We're also known as one of the top Chevrolet electric vehicle dealers in all of New England. And today we're here to talk about the 2020 Chevrolet Bolt EV. It's a front-wheel drive, and while people would prefer an all-wheel drive here in the North Country, they're not quite there yet with the all-wheel drive, but front-wheel drive, this car really performs above expectations in inclement weather. Now, the reason is the battery is very heavy and makes up the majority of the undercarriage on this car, so it gives it a very low center of gravity. Now, looking around this car, I will tell you it won't plow through the 2 feet of snow that Rutland, Vermont got in the last 24 hours, just because it would end up pushing the snow. But in 6 to 8 inches of snow, this car is more than capable. This is one of our shuttle vehicles. We've got a long history with the Bolt since it came out in 2017. We've always featured them as our shuttle vehicles. You can see we've got a matched set of hand-cooked tires on this front and back for added traction. And so we're gonna go ahead and take it for a spin and see what we can find for hills and snow. See how this car performs. Let's see if I can get this hooked in so we can give you a nice view. One hook. Almost there. One of the other nice features about the Bolt, specific with the winter here in the North Country, is it always keeps the battery within a certain temperature range. So the car, when you get in it, when it's cold outside, is warmer than a typical gas combustion car. So let's go ahead and take this through some snow. We've plowed the lot here, but there's a few inches of snow on, and then here's some residual snow that we pushed off of the cars. The car goes through this with ease. Don't want to get hit by the plow truck there. Alright. See, the amazing road crews here in Vermont have been working hard on the roads. So while we've got some greasy stuff right here, we're going to have to work hard to find some snow. Some deeper snow, more challenging conditions. These guys were up all night long working on these roads. While we're waiting for the light to turn here, the other thing about the Bolt EV, it's got much more room on it than a typical car for its exterior dimensions. The reason for that is an electric motor takes up very little space compared to a gas combustion motor. The motor for this car you could literally fit on a coffee table. So designers had to reimagine what a car in the space dimensions would look like. There's a car off the road right there. Hopefully everybody's okay. So right now we're driving through, it's 2 or 3 inches worth of stuff. It's kind of icy underneath, so roads have been very slippery. Lots and lots of people off the road for this particular storm. Very challenging conditions, even if you've got all-wheel drive, but the Bolt's handling it pretty darn good. Again, we're going south on Route 7. We've got a pretty good hill here on the left, so we're going to go over and try that hill out. also has anti-lock brakes. Anti-lock brakes, each wheel's controlled individually, pumps the brake up to 15 times per second. And sometimes when you've got different surfaces underneath the wheels, for example, if you were having to go over on the shoulder of the road, you could end up at different, or like say one lane's plowed and the other isn't, you need to slam on the brakes. It's important that the wheels are taken care of differently. In front of us, we've got one of our competitors' all-wheel drive cars. Passing Carreras on the left. Pike Industries. This road was plowed several hours ago, so it's not as good a condition as Route 7 was there. These cars handling this with no problem whatsoever. Another feature on this car is Stabilitrak. Stabilitrak, so if we were going around a corner and the car started to go straight, it utilizes a combination of pulling back on the throttle or engaging the braking on various wheels. We're going to turn right on East Clarendon Road here, a little bit more of a back road. Again, we're just going uphill this whole time. But it uses a combination of retarding the throttle, pulling back on the throttle, or minutely utilizing the brake in order to keep the car on the direction of the intended path. So whether the back end is fishtailing out or the front end, you've got oversteer and understeer. When the back end goes out, that's oversteer. When the car is not turning and it's supposed to, that's understeer. And so regardless of those situations, it'll utilize smart technology in order to keep the car on its intended path. Road there that hasn't been plowed very well. Let's check this road out. Snow right there. This is fun. We're probably driving through 4 or 5 inches of snow right here. The bolt's taking care of it very well. Terrific. was mentioning earlier that the interior is much larger on this car than you would expect. Five adults are as comfortable in this as they would be in a mid-size SUV, typical mid-size SUV. Even though it's a much smaller car on the interior, or on the exterior dimensions, I should say. Now, driving a Bolt. Some snow in the hill. Look at this. There we go. This is a good challenge here. This challenges the front bumper there. It's going to push some of this snow. There's a good at least 6 inches on this road and a good pitch. This is a good hit. Look at that. Incredible. Outstanding. Snow's deep enough that it's up over the front air dam on the car, so the car's plowing a little bit of snow. It's still getting through. Front wheel drive, snow tires. Snow tires on all 4 wheels. Other information on the Bolt, you probably know, 258 miles is a range on a fully charged battery. So a lot of people say, well, geez, what if I want to go, on a 300-mile trip? So there's apps such as PlugShare that give you really good access to good information as far as where all public charging is available. It's amazing how much public charging is available to you. But finding what people, and they want to travel extended distances with the Bolt, what they do is they go to PlugShare, they look for a level 3 charging. All of the Bolts that we order have high-speed charging, and high-speed charging, typical high-speed charging does 100 miles in an hour. So they plan on stopping someplace for lunch, an intermediate stop, or two, where they can plug in for an hour and get 100 miles in each dose. And then if it's like an overnight trip, they work on coordinating their hotel stay with level 2. Most hotels, or a lot of hotels, have level 2 charging. And level 2 charging does about 30 miles per hour, maybe 30 to 40 miles per hour, depending on the level 2 charging. The side-to-side handling of the car in the snow, these roads are very treacherous, so you've got to be careful, but the car performs very, very well. It also has tremendous visibility in this car. The belt line for the windows is very low, and so the appearance of the car is such. Nice hill. It's greasy conditions, but nice little hill here. Shrewsbury Hill. So it's such, so with a low belt line and a high roof, it just front, back, side to side, tremendous visibility. One of the best cars that you'll ever sit in from a visibility perspective. So my mom just got a Bolt for the first time a few months ago, and that's one of her favorite parts, is the car is fundamentally easier for her to drive. She never has to go to a gas station ever again. And so she just plugs in she doesn't drive a lot of miles, so she just plugs the car in when she's not driving it. She's got it's garage kept, so she keeps it in the garage and plugs it in when she's not driving it. It's always ready to go, and it's very easy to see, very easy to park. Beyond that, the car is fun to drive. It's super quick because with an electric motor, you have what's referred to as instant acceleration, or instant torque, I should say, not instant acceleration, instant torque. And so there's a sport mode on this car. You click sport mode, and when you step on the gas in sport mode in particular, this car goes really fast. You're hard pressed to find a car that's quicker on the road from an acceleration perspective than this car. So it's fun to drive in a lot of different respects. Coming back down 7. Even with these conditions, the braking is outstanding. One tip with anti-lock brakes is that when the anti-lock brakes engage, you want to make sure you just apply constant pressure to the brake. You don't want to pump the brakes. Those of us that learned to drive before anti-lock brakes, we were taught that in the snow we want to pump our brakes. Pumping anti-lock brakes actually disengages the anti-lock brake system. So that if you apply constant pressure to the brakes, it will do the pumping for you. That's what it does. And it just does it better and faster than we can possibly do. The number of days in Vermont that most people would not be well served driving a Bolt, but would be well served driving an SUV, I have to imagine are less than 1 day per year on average. But it is a personal decision. But if you're interested in going green and you're interested in taking advantage of the extraordinary deals that are available on the Chevrolet Bolt right now, and your only hesitancy is driving in the winter, you'd be hard pressed to find, or you should feel pretty comfortable that the Bolt is going to serve you very well on most days. This unhooked. There we have it. Thank you very much for watching this winter driving demonstration of the 2020 Chevrolet Bolt EV electric vehicle. If you'd like to learn more about the Bolt, just click the Learn More button below, or if you're on YouTube, there's a link in the comments section, or come see and drive one for yourself at Alderman Chevrolet Buick GMC, Route 7 South in Rutland.